Hey, Shalom, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. A sincere Shalom Lavakarium, Shal Yash Allah. That's peace to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Now, this video here, man, this is it's very telling that the position of Americans are in, aka Babylonians, aka modern day Egyptians. This place is full of confusion because Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah, they're shaking their hands upon Babylon right now. You know, Babylon is being shook to the core. They're at a point that the youth, you know, there's an old saying in the ancient world, you know how strong a kingdom is due to how the women and children are moving. See, the women are the nurturers to the future, and the future will be the children. The children, they allow the legacy of the empire, right? The strength of the empire, the backbone of the empire move on. But when the women are doing this bad and the children are broken, these children that you're going to watch, these young adults, you know, 20, 21, 22, just got out of college, 4 or 5 years in college, coming home to live in a box, a cubicle. That says a lot about the future of America. But this is where we at, with the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shah. In the prophecies, they said that we will be at this point. And Salakia, I'm in back of my work van. It's kind of loud. I had some free time, so I said, let me just do this video. I was watching it, I'm just shaking my head, you know, and this is the condition that Babylon is in. As I'm looking at this video, you know, it just says it all. If you were sitting back pondering on the future of America, man, it looks very bleak. This is Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. Remember now thy creator. No, this is a twofold chapter, okay? Remember now thy creator in thy days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw near, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's where we at right now. You know, we in a time when a lot of people not happy. You know, there's a lot of bickering, especially from the women. You know, there's a lot of unemployment is up. There's about to be empty shelves all over the place. Walmart just came out. They said they raising prices. They doubling prices in Walmart. That came out today. You know, all the mom and pop stores, you can say goodbye to these mom and pop stores. All the bodegas, you know, the pizza stores, everything is going up. And there's no employment due to robotics. You know, back in the day, you used to be able to go and find a job mopping the floor at Sears or McDonald's or Burger King, you know, doing some type of janitorial work. Now you can't even get that. You just can't walk up in one of these stores and say, hey, are y'all hiring? Man, these jobs are ghosting you. They telling you we'll call you, and you're never getting the call. So these young adults, they're panicking. They're panicking, you know. So they see no hope. It's hopeless. And this is the day when the Lord says, when thou shalt say there is no pleasure in them. There's no pleasure here. There's no pleasure. These Babylonians are not happy. The Lord has taken the mirth, the joy, the happiness, you know, of living in America as having a bright day. Going out to concerts, dead. You know, you're going out to find a date, trying to go to the nightclub, dead. No relationships are broken here. This is that evil day that the Lord spoke about. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. You know, and who keeps this house? Your politicians, your Democrats, your Republicans. They're trembling. We got that cruel Lord that's in office. That's Trump. You know, and they thinking about what we gonna do. Sit back 4 years and wait for this man to destroy the country before we get a Democratic president. The whole system is broken, man. The two horns on the lamb is broken. So there's no future here in Great Babylon. We waiting for them to hit the switch button. They're gonna have to hit the reset button because it's bad, as you're gonna see in this video. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Look at the stock market, man. Now you tell me the keepers of the house are not trembling. It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders, this is the work, and the grinders shall cease because they are few. And those that look out of the windows, which look into the future, be darkened because it's dark out there. It's dark. And the grinding, man, the unemployment line is off the charts. You know, even try to look for a job. You know, you'd be lucky to find a part-time right now. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the street. So all these doors, as we riding through some strip malls right now. I'm down in Freehold, New Jersey, and it's looking bad out here. Ain't nobody shopping. A lot of these stores that you're looking at, closed, you know, closing signs, empty. You know, some of these stores are saying we only taking cash only. It's that bad here right now. The Lord has kept his word. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding, as the workforce, is low. And the sound of grinding right now, we doing bad. America is doing bad. But this is the shaking of the hand. Remember, the Lord said he was going to shake his hand upon Babylon in that day. He was going to send fanners to fan this place. And it's not looking good. It says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And you see the fiasco with Puff Daddy. You know, this whole trial is just it's just a show. It's just a show. They ain't making no more money in music. You can kiss music goodbye, and you don't own music anymore. When we was growing up, you went out and bought a cassette tape. You had then it went from that to the CDs. You know, you even go back a little further to vinyl. You know, then it was the cassette tape. Then it went to the DVDs. Now it's nothing. You just got to get it from off the internet for free. And if they shut that off, man, you got nothing. And neither do the artists. The artists are making pennies on a dollar. No one's coming out to the shows. So, you know, a lot of these artists are turning into selling drugs and promoting, you know, sexual content on OnlyFans. You know, it's bad out here. The music industry is done. But that's the Lord. He just said, it says, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. That's the whole industry. That's dealing with Hollywood too. But let's get into this video here. You know, this site here is called A Homestead Journey. She's always in her car, but you know, she be catching some really good content. And I think she's about 41 years old, and she talking about how, you know, dating is basically over. You know, for a Jake woman of that age. There ain't nothing to do but watch current events and start a podcast, but she be catching some good stuff. Check this out.
More people are really struggling here in the United States to put a roof over their head. A lot of people are not able to qualify for apartments or purchase homes. They're having a hard time. They are becoming homeless. And a lot of people are even finding more creative ways to try and keep a roof over their head. Some people are even looking at storage units. Check this out.
Been living in my car. Now I'm living in a storage unit, trying to get an apartment, but can't right now. I'm at the storage unit, finna get me a storage today. I'm feeling mighty proud of myself today, you know. You know, you can see the building right here. I ain't gonna really show everything, but yeah. I'm looking for the smallest storage unit. How much is the smallest unit? Just got the storage unit.
Hey, it's Lockyer for this commercial here. Hold on. Give me a second. You see that? This is bad. Hold on, stop. Get this back up here. This is bad, man. That's what they doing. Living in storage units. Hope you can hear it. I'm trying to turn it all the way up. Look at this, man. This is madness.
Got all my stuff in.
This is madness.
Gotta get this. Cover this up. I'm gonna get hot.
You got asthma. Like a prison.
This storage unit, but I also have an office where I have access to Wi-Fi, a refrigerator, and pretty much everything else I need 24/7. I have 2 jobs, and I also sleep at work, so that definitely helps. Keep in mind, the office and work are 2 different places. Now, I am really active in my comments, and I noticed that a lot of moms were saying if they didn't have kids, they would be doing the same thing, and I definitely understand. For years, I just felt like it had to be a better way. I did not want to work, go home, take care of the kids, barely sleep, and still have to pay all these bills. My kids are older, so it worked out to where I was finally able to put myself in a situation. So although I sleep at work, I rented this office because I just don't want to be in one spot all day. We have offices starting at $300, so it's nowhere near as much as I would be paying for rent. Whenever I do come here, I have 24-hour access. I can use the bathroom. We have a microwave, refrigerator, Wi-Fi, and everything else I need. So life update. I'm living in my car. My little S10. This is me. It's my home for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I don't know what to do. And I don't really have anyone. I toured 2 apartments yesterday. I won't qualify for them because you have to make 2.5 times the over $1,200 rent a month, and I don't even make the rent a month. I've never been homeless before, but you know what? This is a really good story. Like, I can only go. I mean, I could go down, but like, I'm gonna go up from here, cause then, like, I'm broke and homeless at 21. But like, that makes for such a good story. When I'm like super successful and rich and like doing so well and have so many
true story. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like, I was broke and homeless at 21. And look where I am now. Boom. And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like, wow. Go you. I just gotta make it through this part. But this part like builds resilience, character, all that shit. I'm gonna be so funny after this. I'm gonna have such a good personality. I'm gonna be equipped with so many skills. I'm gonna be so smart, crafty, nifty,
Yeah, keep lying to
cool
yourself.
and funny. And it's gonna be so good. I just gotta make it through this part. Just checking in, I guess. I mean, I hope they, I don't.
Yeah, you see what's going on. You know, and this is the windows, the future of Babylon. Look at the children. You know, this is the future generation, but like we said, the Lord is breaking this place down, man. And they ain't seen nothing yet. We ain't even hit Jacob's trouble. You know, at least they can live in a storage unit and ain't nobody trying to break in, and they might got some heat. You know, they can go outside and hit a 7-Eleven and, you know, jump in their car, they got some gas. There's still some life here. And they already breaking. So imagine when the Lord shut off the lights here and shut off the electricity, where they can't get no gas, no running water, right? The food stores get robbed and raided. Like I tell you in on Second Esdras, a man killing man for a piece of bread. You know, women being sold on the street just for food, you know? And we talking about loads and loads of kids hiding in the woods, man. You know, yes, it's about to get very vicious out here. These animals that's gonna be running in the streets looking for food and meat, you know? The Lord gonna open up the cages to the zoos. Oh, it's about to get deadly out here. So these are still the good old days, you know, for us. But these people, they breaking, but we in a serious time of Jacob's trouble, man. It's on his way. This is Isaiah 19 verse 14. Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And it's definitely a perverse spirit in Babylon the Great. You just get this word perverse. Perverse. Difficult. Unreasonable. Unhelpful. Unhelpful. Disobedient spirit, man. Rebellious. See that? Self-willed. Everybody's self-willed, man. You know? It says cross-grained. Let me see. Let me get one more. We get heady. Every man for themselves here. And the Lord said it was going to get like that, to where men will become just lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. And we had an all-time level of they just want pleasure. But ain't no more pleasure, man. Because once again, it says, Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And they have caused Egypt, modern day Egypt is America. This is a prophecy here. To err, was to go off in every work. Everything that you used to take joy in this place. Now you no longer take joy in. And the people, man, people are just sick of seeing people right now. Ain't no communication between being human. The human experience is destroyed here, man. So that's that perverse spirit, because we're in a time of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. As a drunkard man stagger in his own vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do, man. So the Lord is breaking the workforce. I mean, we talking about the Lord. You think it's broke now. Man, we give it a few more months as we push forward towards the end of 2025. Imagine how it's going to look. Because we going into 2026. Yes, we are. So if it's this bad now, give it 6 or 7 more months, man, of pressure, of shaking of the hand, from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Yeah, these people going to be willing to do anything for survival. And that's when they're going to slip in that mark of the beast, man. They're going to slip that mark of the beast right on you. It says, and that day shall Egypt be like unto woman weak. Everybody's weak here, man. Let me check my light here. Everybody's weak. The women are weak. The men are weak. The children are weak. This is a very weak place for Babylon right now. And the other countries like Russia, China, North Korea, you know, Japan, looking, the BRICS, they know how weak America is right now, and it's up for the taking. What do people do when they get a little bit of pain? They jump on social media and they start crying, just like we just saw. That's their relief, right? That's their dose of adrenaline. But see, that's not good because you're putting yourself out there. It's just video after video after video of women and weak men complaining, man. Talking about they want to move into a little home. Well, it's going to come a time where you ain't going to be even able to pay for those storage units. It's about to get that bad, man. And you see these cars right here? It's that damn Tesla truck. They burning these damn trucks, man. They want Elon Musk out of this. So whoever that guy is, you better make sure he don't turn down the wrong street. We in the serious day. The rebellion is at its all-time high. And in that day shall Egypt be like unto women weak, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking. See that right there? Shaking of the hand of Yahweh. That's where we at. The Lord is shaking his hand. You know, when you shaking your hand at somebody, you getting on them. Oh, you also accusing them. It says shaking, right? To tremble, to move up and down, side to side. You know, an act of shaking, right? It's another one I wanted right here for shaking. It says to tremble, to quiver, man. So when the Lord starts shaking, to shiver, Babylon is shivering. And this goes for the elites, man. You know, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, you know, the unseen government. You know, the bankers. All wars are bankers' wars. They're the ones really shaking because they know what we coming into. We're coming into Jacob's blessing, the birthright. It's about to take full effect. You Edomites are losing your empire. And Jacob, we about to inherit everything. But the Lord got to bring this last kingdom down. And this is how it looks when it falls. It looks like this. The Lord is breaking it down blow by blow. And it's a beautiful thing. That's why we stay in these prophecies. It says, once again, in that day shall Egypt be like unto woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the Lord is shaking his hand over this place at this time. It ain't nothing nobody can do to stop it either. You know, nothing Esau can come up with can stop the shaking of the Lord's hand. This is Jeremiah 50 verse 37. A sword is upon their horses, which are their vehicles. A sword is upon their vehicles, man. It says, and upon the chariots, which are vehicles, and upon the mingled people that are in the midst of her. They call this land the melting pot, right? You got all nations come here to get paid. America's one business, big business building. Everybody come here to sell their merchandise. They come here to make money. That's why you read in Revelations, the 18th chapter, it tell you that they were upset when they saw the smoke of Babylon reaching up to the heavens, saying, what great city where we're going to sell our luxury, our odors and our cinnamons and our silk and maple and wood and your Apple phones and iPads, and everything's here for the taking. So everybody comes here to make money. That's why it's called the what do they call this place? That's a word they use. The melting pot. America's the melting pot. Okay, so it says, I'm going to read that again. It says, a sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. And they shall become as women, once again, weak as women. And a sword is upon her treasures. That's the economy, you know, the economic system, which is the bloodline of this place. A sword is upon their treasures. That's the money system. And they shall be robbed. And the Lord is robbing this place, man. You know, this is Jeremiah 51 verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forbear to fight. And this is going to happen. When that draft starts, this is how weak these people are. You know, when they go down, women don't want to fight. Men get up to fight. But once this war pop off, these men ain't going to want to fight. They're too comfortable. These good times has made these men weak here in Babylon, man. So they don't want to fight. They don't want to, you know, hear about Jacob's trouble. They don't want to go to war, but you are. And the Lord is bringing it down like this. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes, which is their stronghold. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwellings. Her bars are broken, man. So these men don't want to get down because it's a very, very weak society right now. This is how the Lord is ending this place, man. It's coming down like this. This is Zechariah 2 verse 9. It says, for behold, I will shake my hand upon them. And once again, that shaking of the hand of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is on this place. Because that's what you're feeling. You're feeling Judgment Day. The beginning judgments of America. The beginning judgments of Babylon the Great. And the final judgment is going to be those nuclear bombs that's going to be shot off in World War III. It's a reason why the Pope, the first Sunday address for the Pope, the new Pope, the guy out of Chicago. They done got this guy from Chicago, Illinois, man. Right? First thing he warned about was World War III. And he said, we already in it. Why do you think they had him make that statement? Because they know the prophecies. They know how this thing ends, man. Because this is the final shaking of the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And who is the servants? We are, man. We are. The Lord said, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. But all that's about to flip. You know? The plowers, we about to overtake these people, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And ye shall know that Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, have sent me. And oh, it's about to get very deadly out here, man. You know? Let me see if we can play a little more of this video. Just the complaining. And it ain't going to get better for these people. You know? You think 2026 is going to be any better?
And I live in this small little vehicle. Today we were finally able to get the front seat out. One of my coworkers at Jack in the Box ended up taking it out for me, and I'm so thankful because I could not do it on my own. And of course I wanted to record for you guys the whole process of taking a whole seat out, but I was embarrassed to ask him if I could record him, and I also don't want anybody from work knowing that I do TikTok. Anyways, after taking the seat out of the vehicle, I cannot believe how spacious it looks. I know a Fiat is a very small vehicle, but it literally feels like a small RV. And taking out the seat just made my whole life way easier. I don't have to be hopping or jumping to the front seat to get things. I love it. I think I'm gonna get like small little cabinets from Walmart so I can organize my clothes. Somebody asked me where I park, and I do park outside a coworker's house. I give her $50. She allows me to use her electricity when my car isn't running and I need something.
So it's really hard to watch these types of things because growing up here in the U.S., I felt that there were so many opportunities, that this was the land where people can afford the things that you want as long as you work hard for it. And I'm not saying that that's not the case nowadays, but it feels really out of reach for a lot of people. And it is definitely getting harder for everybody because prices are just continuing to go up everywhere, all over the board. And
answer. No, it ain't gonna turn around. You know, somebody need to tell her we at the end. Let's get the scripture. See, this where they don't know the prophecies. They don't know what time we in. You got to know what time you in. That's why knowing that America is great Babylon, being able to put these things together, it gives you a sense of relief because we got the answers. See, like she said, will they turn around? You know, no. Because according to prophecy, before the Yahushua brings in his kingdom, this final kingdom got to fall. So if she knew the prophecy, if she was following the men of the Lord, you know, or she had a husband that was a man of the Lord, he will be breaking down these prophecies to her, telling her about Daniel's the 2nd chapter, Daniel's the 7th chapter, breaking down the statue, breaking down the 4 beasts, and letting her know where she at in history, letting her know that you're still in biblical times. That's what people don't understand. America is in the Bible. These are biblical times you're seeing. You're not outside the Bible. You're not living outside the words of the book. You're still in the words of the book. Even though they don't teach you the Bible, don't mean you're not in biblical times. You're just at the end of a rulership. You're at the end of the heathens and Esau, who's the wicked rulership. This is 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober, which is clear-minded, and watch. Watch what? Watch for these prophecies. Watch for our Lord's return unto prayer. We at the time when the Lord is about to shine. He's about to send his son back to get his elect. Yeah, America ain't bouncing back from this, man. You know, America ain't coming back, man. I don't care what you try to do. You know, this is Matthew 24. Verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days, which they really about to feel, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. That's twofold right there. You know, the stars literally are not going to fall, but you do got people called stars, right? American Idol, you know, your Hollywood stars. And also those bombs. When John looked up, he saw the warheads coming in the atmosphere. It looked like the stars were falling, man. It says, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and those bombs want to make the earth shake. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. This where we at, lady. See, they don't know these scriptures, man. And I bet you she'll say she's Christian. You Christians ain't breaking it down like this. Letting people know that we at the end time, we at the end of an age, and we at the beginning of a new rulership. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes or all the families of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man, which his name is Yahushua, coming in the clouds. That cloud is a ship, who they call UFOs, of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels. So it's about to be a takeover. Yahushua showing up with thousands upon thousands of angels. And he shall see, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other. This is the time we in. So she don't know that. People don't know this. They just thinking we hitting a rough patch in history. You just think this is a rough patch, you know, and it's all going to smoothly work itself out and come together. No. And how do we know we at the end? Because of the tokens. And one major token, which is that mark of the beast, the MOTB. Revelations 13 chapters, 16, 17, and 18 verse. That comes on the scene at the end when our Lord shows up. So yeah, this is what it looks like to be young, you know, 21, 22 in Babylon right now with no job, limited resources. You know, you might have some kids and there's no hope. Them jokers living up in storage units, man. Who, like she said, when she was growing up, she would have never thought Who would have thought? And it's going to get even worse. They ain't seen nothing yet. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Wakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakaryam, Shah Yash Allah. That's peace to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.